How's it going, YouTube? We're back again with another Master Duel deck profile. Before we get started, just want to say we are a smaller channel, so if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, stay up to date for more content. Every like and subscribe helps us out tremendously, and we also like to see comments down below. We do like the engagement, we do also reply. But with that out of the way, let's get into the deck. So with the most recent selection pack, we now have access to Purrely, and surprisingly enough, they did not actually hit any of the cards ahead of time. Initially, I thought that they were going to hit some of the cards right out the gate. It wasn't too long in the TCG that Purrely was hit, and they put Delicious Memory to 2. But here on Master Duel, Purrely is essentially full power. So there are a couple different ways that you could play Purrely. I know that there's a way to put in the Dark World engine. That way all your discards give you pluses. And I do think that that is an option I plan on exploring in the near future. But for now, I decided that I was just going to put in a couple of board breakers and mostly a bunch of hand traps. This way, for going second, I at least have a chance to draw a board breaker, or if not, 1 to 2 hand traps that are at least going to stop my opponent's plays completely, if not slow them down a little bit. So for the card by card, we're playing 3 copies of Droll. When this deck becomes more popular and other people start playing it, Droll is going to hit this deck very hard. And if your opponent is not playing with the toggle on and they go straight to main phase before they start adding cards, Droll is going to be quite significant. Also, Droll just hits a lot of other decks as well, stuff like Dragon Link. I don't know about you guys, but that deck is very scary for me. Next, we have 3 copies of Purrely. On normal or special, excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Purrely spell or trap, also place the rest on the bottom. Just so you are aware that on summon effect is not once per turn, so if you can get multiple bodies of this on the field, you get multiple excavations. And for the second effect, you can reveal a Purrely quick play, and then depending on what quick play card it is, you get to XZ summon using this card and the quick play from your hand, the appropriate XZ monster. Next, we have 3 copies of Purrely. On normal or special, you get to add a Purrely card from deck to hand, except for quick plays. And then this card does the same thing as the Purrely, except it reveals the card in the graveyard. Next, we have 3 copies of Maxi, just because it's the best card at Master Duel. 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 1 Duster. I'm playing 2 of the Field Spell just because I think that this card is kind of essential for a deck like this. I think that the non-targeting effect for your Purrely monsters the turn that they are special summoned is quite significant. But probably even better is the second effect, where you can target a Purrely XCs that you have during the end phase, and then attach a quick play Purrely spell from your deck or graveyard to it, giving you that 1 additional material. And typically what I end up doing is that I attach the Sleepy Memory so I can at least get a draw on my opponent's turn. Next, we have 3 copies of My Friend Purrely. This is a continuous spell that allows you to pay 500 life points, reveal 3 Purrely cards from your deck, and your opponent randomly picks 1 for you to add to your hand. It also has a second effect where if a Purrely Xyz monster you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can add up to 3 Purrely quick play spells with different names from your graveyard to your hand. So if they do out one of your cards, this is a way to get back some of your resources. We're playing 2 copies of Call By because I also do not want to be hand trapped when playing this deck. There are certain plays where you kind of need your quick play to resolve without getting ashed, so that way you can get to one of the other Purrelys and get the essential card that you're looking for into your hand. Also, you do end up special summoning a lot, so getting hit by Maxi also hurts. We're playing 3 copies of Happy Memory. You can choose 1 card on the field until the end of the next turn. For the first time, it would be destroyed by card effects. It is not destroyed. And then the secondary effect is that you can discard a card to special summon a Purrely when you activate this card. And then the Xyz monster that has this card as material can attack a monster a number of times during each battle phase for each Happy Memory attached to it +1. We're playing 3 copies of Pretty Memory. Each player's gain 1000 light points, and then same thing, you get to discard a card to special summon a Purrely on activation. And then a Purrely Xyz monster that has this card underneath it has the effect where once per turn you can send 1 other card you control to the graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls and attach it to it as material. We're playing 3 copies of Delicious Memory. Choose 1 monster on the field until the end phase of the next turn. It cannot be destroyed by battle. Also discard a card, and if you do special summon a Purrely as an optional effect, And then a Purrely Xyz monster that has this card as material gains 300 attack and defense for each material attached to it. We're playing 3 copies of Sleepy Memory. The next battle or effect damage you take this turn becomes 0. And then same thing, you get to discard a card, special summon a Purrely from the deck. And then an Xyz monster that has this card as material gets the effect where during your opponent's standby phase, draw 1 card. This is not once per turn as well, so if you have a Purrely Xyz that has 2 of these on underneath it, you get to draw 2 cards. We're playing 2 copies of Evenly as our board breaker, 2 copies of Imperm as an additional hand trap, and 1 Purrely Leap. With this card, you can target a Purrely Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck 1 Purrely Xyz monster with a different rank using that target as material, but return it to the extra deck during the end phase of the next turn. So this is a way that you can cheat out one of the rank 7s if you didn't establish one on your turn. It also has the second effect where you can banish this card from the graveyard to target 3 Purrely monsters from your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck. So this card also is relevant not for the first effect but for the second effect as well, because if it is a grindy game, you will run out of Purrelys from the deck quite quickly, and this is a way to keep you going a little bit longer. Not only that, but if your opponent tries to do something like use a Bestial to banish one of your Purrelys, you can use this to shuffle them back so that they miss the target. On to the extra deck, we have the Sylvan rank 1. With this card, you can detach a material to excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is a spell or a trap, add it to your hand. So this is another way to get a additional quick play spell into your hand. We're playing 1 copy of the Assembled Nightingale. This is a way to cheat out Zeus quite quickly. We're playing 1 copy of Ensemble Blue Robin with a really good hand, as well with like little interruption from your opponent. You can probably make the rank 7 on your turn as well as this. So not only do you have a towers on the field, but you can also stop 2 special summon monsters possibly. We're only playing 1 copy of Purrely Happiness because I don't think that this is one of the better ones. But at the end of the damage step, if this card battled, you can add a Purrely card from your deck to your hand. Also, if this card has Purrely Happy Memory as a material, you can have the attack of 1 face-up monster on the field. And then up to thrice per turn, when a quick play Purrely spell is activated, you can attach that card to this and then return 1 spell or trap that your opponent controls to the hand. So going second, this card is pretty nice because you can actually get a bunch of materials underneath it just from its own effect. Attack a bunch of times, possibly do some damage as well. And for the other rank 2s, they all have the same secondary effect where up to thrice per turn you can attach a quick play spell if you activated one, but the other effect attached to it is quite different. We're playing 2 copies of Beauty. Once per turn, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects. This is a quick effect if this card has Pretty Memory attached to it. Same thing where you can use the 1 effect up to thrice per turn if you activated a quick play. But for this one, when you attach the quick play using that effect, you can change the battle position of 1 monster your opponent controls. And then we're playing 2 copies of Plump. Once per turn, you can target up to 2 spells or traps in either graveyard, attach them to this card as material. Has the same thrice per turn effect. But if you do use that effect, you can banish 1 monster on the field until the end phase. We're playing 1 copy of Expurrely Happiness. This is the worst rank 7, but I'm playing it just because I feel like it still can come up. If not, it is a way to get a very easy win if you cleared your opponent's board, because this card can get quite large. But you can make this card using a rank 2 with 5 materials or more. During your main phase, you can detach 1 material from this card, and if you do, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end phase of the turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation if this card has a level 1 Purrely attached to it as a material. For its second effect, when an attack is declared involving this card that has 5 or more materials, inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. Then we're playing 2 copies of Expurrely Noir. You can make this card using a rank 2 with 5 materials or more. This card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects while it has 5 materials or more. You can detach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, place it on the bottom of the deck. This is a quick effect if this card has a level 1 Purrely monster as material. So this is the card that you're always going to be making. The best way to make this card is by making Plump first. That way you can get the other 2 spells and traps from the graveyard and attach to it. That way you can get your materials very quickly. We're playing 1 Link Rebo. This is just in case you only are able to get 1 additional Purrely monster on the board, 1 Masquerena, and then 1 Unicorn. So yep, that's the deck profile. I do strongly recommend this deck. This deck is right now at full power, like I said earlier. None of the cards are hit as of now, and I do think that this is going to be a deck that you need to watch out for. But now, let's just get right into the games.